Here we go, sports fans. NFL Week 11, Vegas Top Dogs TV YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tony K. Over there in the green room, we have Jeff Hochman, who's been red hot this year in college and NFL football. We'll get to him in 1 minute. Before we get to our action, make sure you like, subscribe, give us that thumbs up. Subscribers keep going up. We're over 1,200 subscribers. We're giving you valuable information for your betting needs each and every week, all for free on these daily videos. Before we get to Jeff's selection, make sure you visit VegasTopDogs.com. We have some red-hot handicappers there. Check out the hot hands, the leaderboards. Really think you'll be happy with what you see there. Also, some great articles across all sports. There'll also be some soccer picks next week as well, so check it out, VegasTopDogs.com. I'll get to my selection in 1 minute, plus a player prop, which has been 18-4. Red hot, 18-4 with our player props. But first, let's bring on Jeff and see what he has for us this week in NFL football. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Tony. Great to be back once again this week. Coming off just my second losing Sunday of the season. Very disappointing. My two service plays.
It happens.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland Browns was just a bad read on my part. And my other selection was on I'm drawing a blank right now. Chicago Bears, that's right. They were up 24-10 at halftime. Bad interception, Justin Fields. And I ended up going 0-2. Free pick split out.
Missed extra point, too. The Bears missed an extra point that hurt.
Yeah, that hurt.
Had a chance in overtime, but
yeah,
it's been a crazy NFL season.
Yeah, NFL, it can be tough at times, but you just gotta grind through.
That's why they call it gambling, right?
It's gambling, not stealing. There's no locks in this business, especially NFL, where in-game injuries and turnovers are very unpredictable. Thankfully, my two free picks split out. Denver Broncos, don't get me started. They were a no-show off their bye week. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett, you have 2 weeks to prepare. Russell Wilson just doesn't look right this year. I mean, they can't even make it to the red zone with 2 weeks to prepare. And then I gave out the Green Bay Packers, and they were down by 14. Luckily, they came back against the Dallas Cowboys. Speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, that's my free pick this week. Dallas Cowboys -1.5. The books are getting a lot of two-way action on this game, so I don't expect any line movements. There are some sharp bettors that I respect on the Minnesota Vikings, but I like the Dallas Cowboys, and here's why. Dallas owns the better offensive line, number 5 versus number 13. Special teams, number 3 versus number 25. And overall defense, number 2 versus number 19. All of these stats are at Football Outsiders. Let's go to net yards per play. Dallas Cowboys plus 0.65. Minnesota minus 0.43. The Vikings are one of the luckiest teams in the NFL. I know I probably say that every week. Now they're coming off one of probably their biggest wins. They had no business winning that game. I'm sure everyone knows how it panned out with Buffalo.
Last 2 weeks, they've been lucky.
Right. I mean, Buffalo fumbling.
Washington and Dallas, two lucky games for Minnesota.
Yeah, Buffalo fumbling on their goal line. I mean, come on, Josh Allen. Also, the injuries are creeping up for Minnesota. Minnesota's left tackle, he's in concussion protocol. He's likely out. Christian Darrisaw, he's PFF's number 1 graded tackle this year. He's going to be making the Pro Bowl in future years. Dallas ranks number 2 in pressure rate, while Minnesota ranks number 30 in pressure rate allowed. And last week, Micah Parsons, it was his first game without any pressures. So I think Dan Quinn is going to scheme up more ways to get Micah Parsons involved. He has to be a little bit pissed off about his showing against Green Bay. Now, he did play more of a linebacker position against Green Bay, trying to stop their running game. Dallas, 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread in dome games the past 3 years. AT&T Stadium is not considered a dome stadium because they do have a retractable roof. Back to the injuries. Zadarius Smith, he's questionable for Minnesota. He's one of their best linebackers. He's probably out. Justin Jefferson, he's popped up on the injury report with a toe injury. He got in a limited practice on Wednesday. I'll be interested to see if he has a limited or full participant Thursday and Friday. Either way, he's not 100%. Cowboys, 6-1 straight up, 6-1 against the spread on a turf field. And if you remember last year, Dallas went into Minnesota as 4-point underdogs. Cooper Rush was under center. He passed for 341 yards. I think we all can agree Dak Prescott is a little bit better of a quarterback than Cooper Rush. So they do have familiarity playing in Minnesota. It's the same surface that they play on in Dallas. And, historically, Dallas has played very well in dome games. Like I said, 3-0 straight up, 3-0 ATS. Mm-hmm. Also, this season, I've noticed a trend. Teams off an ATS loss against teams off an ATS win have been cashing at a very high rate in the very next game. So this applies to the Dallas Cowboys. Let's take Dallas -1.5 at the Minnesota Vikings. And before we get to your free pick, Tony, I was going over the college basketball rankings at the Sports Monitor, and I see you, Tony K, 3G Sports. You are cashing 66.7%, 3-0 on your top-rated 10-star gems. I consider you one of the best regular season college basketball handicappers out there. That's how I found you back in 1998. Yep. I signed up for your service. You helped me get into the business. For people that don't know, I don't start college basketball until late February, March, where I've had a lot of success. I am your March Madness handicapping champion in 2016 at the Sports Monitor of Oklahoma. So wait for March to get on my package, but I would hop on Tony's package in college basketball. He's
got my easy button.
Get that easy button going. He had Lehigh last night. I don't know how he finds these college schools, but they're incredible. He texted me Yale the other day, -21. They won by 33. So I just want to let people know, college basketball, Tony K, 3G Sports is your guy.
Oh, yeah. My favorite. I think touching on your pick, I think Dan Quinn's going to bring the heat. You won't see Kirk Cousins wearing the bling bling this week. I agree with your selection, Dallas Cowboys, not because I'm a fan. I just think they're going to pressure Kirk Cousins, and he struggles with pressure.
That's right. Hey, I'm a fan of the Cowboys too, diehard Cowboys fan, and I went against them last week. It was a good spot for Green Bay, but this week I like Dallas -1.5. Yeah. What do you got?
You got the D on your hat for defense, and I think the
that's
Cowboys
right.
are going to bring the defense this week.
Absolutely.
All right, let's jump into my selection this week. NFL action, player prop as well. We're going to look at Denver Broncos and the Raiders. Two terrible teams. I mean, Raiders 2-7, Seattle 3-6. I think both coaches are coaching for their jobs in this game. Current line is Denver -3 and 41. I think Josh McDaniels, Nathaniel Hackett coaching for their job here. I think they're going to be conservative. First meeting was a shootout between these two teams, 55 points. I think this one's going to go under the total. They're going to be conservative, a lot of running. Seattle can't even get into the red zone, like you said. Last week, 0 red zone visits. Their offense is a mess. Russell Wilson just looks like he's a mess. He's slow. He's not scrambling. He's holding on to the ball too long. Temperatures are going to be in the low 40s, high 30s. I think all this leads to an under 41 points between the Raiders and the Broncos on Sunday. I like the under between the battle of these two terrible teams. And I think the loser, I have a feeling, the coach, will get fired after this game on Sunday. Also, player props, they've been red hot. I'm going to go under Russell Wilson passing yards. Like I said, he's not throwing the ball downfield. He doesn't trust his receivers. I think the under is the play, the under is the play in the game. I think Russell Wilson under passing yards is a solid play as well. Very good possibility. I'll be having my college football game of the year on Saturday. Make sure you check the website on that. I have an unbelievable track record. Don't have it in front of me. I'd have to look it up, but it's over 80% lifetime with these 10-star college football games of the year. So check out VegasTopDogs.com Friday, Saturday morning. Very good possibility I will be using it. Jeff, anything you have on tap for this week?
Yeah, touch a little bit on your free pick. Denver could be without Jerry Jeudy. So, that's a weapon that, Russell Wilson won't have. And
I noticed you last week, so that's a good point.
Right. I noticed a trend too. And I think you alerted me to this a couple of years ago. When teams meet and it's a very high scoring game, if it goes over the total, usually the rematch is a lower scoring game.
Divisional games. Yep. Second time around. If the first game's a 10-3 type of score, second meeting's usually a shootout, vice versa. And that's been hitting this year if you go back and check the last few weeks.
Correct.
I think it happened on Monday night too. The Eagles and Washington was a low-scoring game. The first meeting this past week was a shootout.
I have two plays right now on VegasTopDogs.com. One college. It's a 5-star best bet. 31-13 since 2020. I'm 7-8 this season. Full transparency. NFL, I do have a premium play up right now, bouncing back from an 0-2 performance last week. Still 13-4 in the NFL this season. So go get it, guys and girls.
That was easy.
That was easy.
We're going to sweep the board this week.
I hope so. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, give us that thumbs up. Jeff and I will be back next week with more valuable information and free picks plus player props. Make sure you visit VegasTopDogs.com. And as always, Jeff, thanks for coming on.
Good luck. Let's win.
And be a winner.